Okay, here I'm going to give you 13 steps for managing flashbacks from Pete Walker's book, Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving. And I think it's very useful to have this close to hand that you can replay it when you need to. If you need a voice of this, a voiceover of this, I can do that for you via Dropbox, so you can private message me. But here goes. These are 13 steps for managing flashbacks. 1. Say to yourself, I am having a flashback. Flashbacks take us into a timeless part of the psyche that feels as helpless, hopeless, and surrounded by danger as we were in childhood. The feelings and sensations you are experiencing are past memories and they cannot hurt you now. 2. Remind yourself, I feel afraid, but I am not in danger. I am safe now, here in the present. Remember, you are now in the safety of the present, far from the danger of the past. 3. Own your right to have and need boundaries. Remind yourself that you do not have to allow anyone to mistreat you. You are free to leave dangerous situations and protest unfair behavior. 4. Speak reassuringly to your inner child. The child needs to know that you love her unconditionally, that she can come to you for comfort and protection when she feels lost and scared. 5. Deconstruct eternity thinking. In childhood, fear and abandonment felt endless. A safer future was unimaginable. Remember, the flashback will pass. It is as many times before. And 6 is, remind yourself that you are in an adult body with allies, skills and resources to protect you that you never had as a child. Feeling small and little is a sure sign of a flashback. So what you can do is think about, when you go into a mode where you're feeling a bit out of control and you feel like you're 5 years old, for instance, you generally are having a flashback. Now 7 is ease back into your body. Fear launches us into heady worrying or numbing and spacing out. So what we can do is gently ask your body to relax. Feel each of your major muscle groups and softly encourage them to relax. Tightened muscular sends unnecessary danger signals to the brain. So when we tighten up, we're sending danger signals to the brain. So if we know we're safe and we know we're having a flashback, we can get grounded and sit and relax our muscles one by one. Also, we can breathe deeply and slowly. Holding the breath in also signals some signs of danger. So as you may know, when you go into panic attacks, what's going to happen is that your breathing rate increases. The other thing I do, which Pete Walker doesn't mention here, is that I tap on my collarbone because I'm certified in Faster EFT tapping, and it really works to bring the parasympathetic system under control. So maybe you could just take 2 fingers right now and gently tap on your collarbone, doesn't matter where, and you will see that you'll start breathing. If you acknowledge it, you'll start breathing at a more relaxed pace. Okay. Also, slow down rushing, because when we rush, it pressures the psyche's panic button. Also, the other thing you can do is find a safe place to unwind and soothe yourself. Wrap yourself in a blanket, or hold a pillow and or have a warm bath or take a nap. Feel the fear in your body without reacting to it. Fear is just an energy in your body that cannot hurt you. If you do not run from it or react to it, then you're going to bring yourself, back into your body. And 8 from Pete Walker's book, we have resist the inner critic's drasticizing and catastrophizing. Use thought stopping to halt its endless exaggerations of danger and constant planning to control the uncontrollable. Refuse to shame, hate, or abandon yourself. Channel the anger or self-attacking into saying no to unfair self-criticism. Use thought substitution to replace negative thinking with a memorized list of your qualities or accomplishments. So that's basically telling yourself how great you are, championing yourself, yeah? Very important. 9. Allow yourself to grieve. Flashbacks are opportunities to release old, unexpressed feelings of fear, hurt, and abandonment, and to validate and then soothe the child's past experience of helplessness and hopelessness. Healing, grieving can turn our tears into self-compassion and our anger into self-protection. 10. Cultivate safe relationships and seek support. Take time alone when you need it. Don't let shame isolate you. Feeling shame doesn't mean you are shameful. Educate your intimates about flashbacks and ask them to help you talk and feel your way through them. So now for me, if I've good friends of mine who love and adore me, I tell them, they know what a flashback is. It's part of my conversation with them, and sometimes they have them too. We've all had, many of us have had a hard time. So when we express that to people, when we're freaking out, then we can say, I'm having a flashback. And that puts a lot into perspective, and then a friend can be more helpful to you. 12. I'm just thinking actually it's 11. I'm going to go back here. Learn to identify the types of triggers that lead to flashbacks. Avoid unsafe people, places, and activities, and triggering mental processes. Practice preventative maintenance with these steps when triggering situations are unavoidable. So, we know who triggers us. We know what triggers us generally, and it's okay to avoid. And even if it's family members, if they're not good for us, we can end contact with people that are bringing out, really tragic sort of like reactions in us. We have to take control in that area and choose who we are spending our time with. And then 12, figure out what you are flashing back to. Flashbacks are opportunities to discover, validate, and heal our wounds from past abuse and abandonment. They also point to our still unmet development needs and can provide motivation to get them met. So it's like, time to meet our own needs, and we do that through being honest with ourselves and making a list of the things that do trigger us, and where we're flashing back, and get help with that instead of staying stuck in a cycle of suffering. 13, we've got be patient with a slow recovery process. It takes time in the present to become unadrenalized, and considerable time in the future to gradually decrease the intensity, duration, and frequency of flashbacks. So that's it. And if you want to talk or you need help with mentoring or coaching on this subject, I know a hell of a lot. And I also, that's what I'm here to do, with helping people plan future, so that we have a better future and we leave that part behind. And the gaps as we heal between flashbacks and our now time, the gap gets bigger, so it means there's less suffering going on. I hope this is useful to you. And if you want a PDF copy of this, you can also send me a message in Messenger or via YouTube, any social media platform, and just message me and ask me for a copy, and I'll send it to you. So you can print it off and have it on your desk and remind yourself, or wherever, by your bed, where you can remind yourself that you are having a flashback. Okay, thanks for listening.